What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're all doing well. Good morning, wherever you are. It is another day of talking about third-party news. Not too much to go over today. Definitely will hopefully keep this video under 15 minutes, not 20 minutes. We'll try, but there is still a lot to say. So without further ado, let's just jump straight into everything. I do want to highlight that me and Courier have developed a little broadcast channel here. So we're just going to be posting, reputable stores, updates, and such like that. It's not a talking channel, which I think will save a lot of time and space for people who just want to find links, be able to know where to get the information, whatever, right? This is the place to go if you want that. I have the link. Shoot. Yeah, it's going to be up here somewhere on mobile devices. It won't show up on desktop, but I will see if I can get the link for it and put it in the description of the videos going forward in case you want to join. And Courier is like always posting links in there from various AliExpress stores that they work with. And then, of course, I will post stuff in there that I work with or whatever. We will work together. We're on different time zones, so we're definitely posting at different odds of the day. But obviously, you can still check out their individual page, my individual page, and of course, various other creators' pages, as we're all talking about various different things every day. Anyways, moving forward, let's go over to 5K Toys. So, quickly on 5K Toys. If you didn't see this while I was scrolling through it, at the time of making this video, these are in stock. Hopefully, by the time this video is posted, these are still in stock and you can grab one, especially the TK Customs. The TK Customs are well worth it in my opinion, especially if you have either the tigery, recast faceplates and hair. Like it's worthwhile to combine those. I'm just saying. Moving on. Anyways, so the ZL Studio Broly was apparently maybe going to be on pre-order from 5K Toys. This was 4 days ago. The reason why I didn't make any post about it is because I didn't see any update on it. And quite interesting that 4 days later, they haven't said anything. So kind of leads me to wonder if they're like talking in the background with that studio to see what's going on. Like, what can they do if they're agreeing on options and how to, I don't know. They talk about that in the background and then they figure it out and it comes to us. There are pre-orders on AliExpress. Some of them are a little expensive, I think. So I'm not sure what the exact price is. I'll have to go double back on Xianyu and check. But in terms of AliExpress, I kind of have avoided going on there for a little bit. But I'm hoping 5K Toys will drop some because that'll save a little bit of a hassle for people. I know people just like to do the deposit. So if I do see an update there, of course, we'll update on regular, spaces like community tab, YouTube video, and of course now this channel. So again, not trying to overly promote it, but if you want to be in there, it makes it 10 times easier. Anyways, back to that. So yeah, hopefully we get an update. Nothing more to talk about there. ZT Studio. I have a lot to say, but I can't 100% confirm everything I'm about to say. Okay. So ZT Studio, I don't know if they're tied to ZL Studio. I wish I could say if they are or not for sure, but I don't know. It's just an odd coincidence to see the same molds to some degree being used by two different studios that initially came from one independent artist / creator, if I have that right. I'm gonna quickly just go through these renders so you can see them. Nothing crazy. Legendary Super Saiyan Broly Super Saiyan 3 Broly and regular Super Saiyan Broly or whatever. Super Saiyan Broly, I don't know. With the different, I haven't watched the movie in a while. You know what I'm talking about. Two different Super Saiyan Brolys, okay? Effects look cool. The body is questionable for me. I'm not really into the snatched waist here, but I do think some people do kind of like that look, which is fine. The actual prototypes look a little bit better in terms of that area, so I think it's just the render. However, what I will say, and I'm gonna quickly hop on over to this person's page because they do have the photo I'm looking for. Shout out to you. These two renders, right? We've seen these way back when. I want to say even I've made posts about this particular creator before, not this one, but the person who had these renders or was working on figures similar to these, the Shoto size ones, they had been in development making those things for a while. I don't know if they ever made prototypes. I do know that there's been some various Broly prototypes that they've made themselves. But here's the thing. That is not the first instance I've seen of that creator's work being used elsewhere. I've seen them have a future Gohan head sculpt that Air similarly had back in the day with their their future Gohan kit, which you actually might have seen in the most recent review I just did. That head sculpt, I've seen it on a separate page. Like, I swear, if I can get the page and find it again, I will share it. The Brolys here may not be the exact same, but they shared a lot of similarities. This head sculpt you're seeing, this was shown to us, not even shown, we came across it seeing this person's work way back when, before MP Models ever was announcing that they were doing that, and whoever they were working with, right? It's too many coincidences. So it's leading me to believe either this person does work, and if they feel comfortable selling it to somebody in terms of like the render and all the background, files and whatnot to do it. I don't know, because it's just too much of similarities, too many quote unquote coincidences here. So yeah, that's about all I can say. I can't really confirm everything because I don't have access to be able to chat with those people, unfortunately, unless I go through various dimensional hurdles just to open a freaking QQ account, and I've already suffered through enough headaches trying to do that. So we'll hang on the theory thread there, but it's very interesting. That's all I can say about it. But another Broly, something I think a lot of people seem to want, despite complaining about studios doing the same thing over and over. All I'm gonna say. Anyways, yeah, another Broly. Go for it. I don't know when pre-orders are gonna go up. I think I've seen some pricing around 120. And when I say pre-orders, I mean like if 5K Toys or anybody will get them. AliExpress is always, fast with this stuff, which is why I like to wait until we have a little bit more information. Yeah. Anyways, moving on. KW Studio, nothing new to show, but these Cell Juniors once again are going to be releasing in about a week or so, if not a little bit less than the week. So you should be seeing that arrive in hand to a lot more people. If you order through China retailers or AliExpress or whatever, you should be seeing that fairly soon, within the next week that they start, shipping out. And, you can look at everybody else's reviews of them so far, or pictures and whatnot. Nostalgia Unboxed has a good in-depth review if you want to check it out before you buy. Moving on, Tanaka Studio, TNK for short, is doing some Cybermen. And I'm going to touch back on KW real quick. KW, I think, really set the stage in terms of seeing creators branch out and do something totally unexpected and different. Cell Junior is not something I had pegged on my list for any third party to do, just because it is, I think, challenging to make a smaller figure with not really the same, resources, I would say, as a multi-million-dollar company or anything like that. Everything is at their disposal to use, and hopefully ensure quality. Not that every figure is perfect from, Tamashii Nations or any of the other, official companies out there. But for it to be on a smaller scale like that, I do think it's very, very impressive. And something like this with the Cybermen, it may be simple and easy and effective, but I do think it's interesting to see more unique stuff like this. And this is actually what I'd like to see people branch out and do more. Yes, you want a Broly. Yes, you want a freaking Gogeta or whatever. At the end of the day, the way I look at it is that stuff is going to come officially one way or the other. Getting it now, sure, it's going to be hella fun. It's going to be cool, enjoyable, but I can wait. I would like to see the stuff I just know will never see the light of day as a figure. Like we got lucky with Kui, bro. We really did, honestly. We got lucky with stuff like, I would say, even Android 19 and 20. I'm surprised they even did them as figures, because I just know that popularity level is not there. So yeah, I'd like to see maybe some minions and stuff like that, like Turles's crew, Lord Slug's crew, stuff like that. I'd definitely be down for it. So hopefully we see more from TNK in the future, but for now, we'll be waiting to see more updates on these Cybermen. And DKO finally gave us some, you know, looks at this sculpt. After so long, the breath of fresh air I can breathe now, finally knowing that these are coming out. It just shocked me still that those Broly's came out first. I always say that. I was completely like, what is this? How the Broly's coming out first? Like, when did you even start them things, right? But yeah, it looks really, really nice. I know some of the faceplates maybe look a little smaller, a little squish, but I mean, I can get over it, honestly. I'm glad that he updated it to have, what, 5 faceplates in this set as opposed to the, what was it, 3 initially. I do think that shows that's a lot of heart shown there, adding a lot more to the set, which should be a standard in general. But I do think I've seen some people complain about the price. I forgot where it's stationed at right now, but I think it's in the 40s or 50s. So it's a little high up there. But in general, the sculpts look great. I'm kind of torn between getting the Pearl Scent and the matte myself, because they both look really, really nice. However, I'm more of a matte guy, and I just know that I want my Majin Vegeta in the future to match. So that's really playing a factor into the decision. Anyways, I don't know when we'll get an update on the Goku Black and Super Saiyan Blue Goku stuff. Could be a while, could be fairly soon. We really don't know what the production is like in the background with DKO. He seems to like keep to himself and doesn't really want people hounding him about stuff, just from observations. So we'll just let him work. That's the best I could say. But as I'll always advise, don't pre-order unless you see something in physical. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to see that they're doing it, but until you see that the work is like at least 70% of the way there, there's really no point pre-ordering a year or two in advance when they're not going to get that product right away. I think that's something I would like to see people think about more as they pre-order, instead of 2 months later, it's not out yet, it says on, you know, you got to think about it. It's not, these are not official companies. They don't have to, you know, commit to a date. They can push that date back as far as they want. They could run away with your money at that point. There's been multiple studios who have done that over the years. Just a little pro tip. But anyways, back to the good talk. Demoniacal Fit. We already knew this Gogeta was coming, so it's not a surprise, but I was a little shocked, at least, when I didn't see this accessory in the main accessory pool here. I think it's quite stupid to make it a pre-order bonus. And I mean, I'm sure the way it's done on like Xianyu, Taobao, what's it, PDD or whatever, you are probably dealing more with this instance of if you ordered from those stores, then they'll give you the pre-order bonus. Whereas I think on AliExpress and stuff like that, you're going to get it regardless. From the stores that I've at least asked about it, they say that they will have it, you know, with your pre-order. So if you pre-order with them, you get it. I think if you're doing it through like Xianyu, Taobao, then you have to have been like a previous customer and bought it and prove it through some, you know, your order ID or whatever it was, right? That's how I've seen them do similar things before, in terms of not Demoniacal Fit, but just other studios. But I do think it's quite dumb. I just throw it in there. I don't think people are going to mind paying the extra $5 for these things. Like, just be real. It doesn't make it any more desirable for me as a figure. If that's really all I want out of it, I'm not like over the moon about paying for the whole figure for it. Just package it, the whole thing, or as a separate thing you can buy. But looking at the figure itself, you are getting 5 total head sculpts. Obviously, these are going to be interchangeable with the other Gogeta as well. And of course, the Super Saiyan. I'm not sure on the skin tone. I can't compare the skin tone until we see it side by side. But I'm hoping that the skin tone is somewhat the same for the Super Saiyan faceplates, because he's not coming with any more, and the faceplate he does come with here, you know, is gonna match what's there, not what the other Gogeta has. So something to keep in mind if that's a concern for you. Anyways, I do think they could have done something different than a Kamehameha ball, but I know exactly what it's for, right? You know, it's that final part of the battle. Makes sense. But there are other options. Demoniacal Fit could have made some really cool accessories besides that. Not complaining though, we have this. Okay. Anyways, Return from Beyond Goku is out now. So if you haven't gotten one, you still want one. I have some links down below from stores that I've used, or you can wait for 5K Toys to get their shipment in about probably a month, maybe a few weeks. We'll see. Moving on, we have some new. Oh yeah, I forgot to say this Gogeta is supposed to be available somewhere in November. We'll see. This Gogeta apparently is supposed to be available in November. Somebody told me Courier has said this on their story that this was rumored or said to be based on communication from stores that this was going to come out in November. I'll tell you one reason why I'm not really 100% on that information, regardless of even if Demonical Fit, actually said that to the store. Let's just take it all the way back to, what was this, 2023? When Toy Arena dropped Demonical Fit and stopped carrying their products in terms of like getting new stuff, and they just sold what they had left. Toy Arena was told the same things, but hey, this is going to release then. This is going to release summer. And the information obviously just is not accurate, right? Like Demonical Fit doesn't always commit to what they're going to say, which again plays back into dates can change. There's no guarantee your stuff is going to come that second month after they announced it, after they said it was going to be available Q2 of this year and you're 2 months away from it, whatever, right? So yeah, if that's something you're getting really hyped about and you want to pre-order now, just be aware, dates could change. I do think it's going to come out one way or the other. This is just one of those releases I think that they kind of have to commit to. Like, it's a money maker, man. Like, regardless how you think about it, this is money. This is money right here. Taunton, call me One's Gogeta, money. I mean, they might be doing it for totally different reasons, but it's printing money. Demonical Fit and Taunton, at the end of the day, are really competing with themselves. I mean, we know that eventually someday we're going to get an official shfiguarts. It's just a waiting game at the end of the day. But I really don't see the need for Demonical Fit try to beat Taunton to the punch. Just drop it when you can at that point. That's how I feel about it. People are going to buy either or buy both. I know I've bought both, so there's nothing stopping people from enjoying them as a whole. Anyways, we're going to hop on over here to Courier News' actual page. And we talked about this in the last video. There is one new picture here, but they also did mention a little bit of some extra information. So apparently, and it's grain of salt, they say, somebody, a customizer is somewhat having some relation with HM in terms of, like, I'm assuming a work relationship. They say grain of salt, so I'm not going to really hold any weight to it. However, someone did mention, oh, these look like HM. They do look like the style of HM in terms of how they do their sculpting or their rendering, and just artwork like that. But like I say about HM all the time, they just take so long, and it's just not worth it sometimes to pre-order their stuff whenever they do drop stuff. It just takes so free. Like, look at Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, still not out yet. And I'm not worried about like the whole torn gi accessories with it. I'm just trying to figure out when them head sculpts are gonna drop. That's really all I'm worried about. But if this is HM, they are working on it. I'm just gonna put it at the back of my mind on the back burner, because I just know it's gonna take a while unless they rush production for it or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, it's cool to see, regardless, that more Gogeta head sculpts could be coming from somebody, and they look like they're trying to really bring out that side from the movie. Either way, cool stuff. What's we got on the last one here? Oh, SSW. Now, that's not the original name, obviously, of the studio doing this. There were some other reasons why the name has changed. I don't know how personal it is, so I'm not going to go too detailed about it, but let's just say that creator, I guess, took a step back, so it's a different studio handling it, which is why it's now SSW as opposed to Whom. That's at least what I've just been told in past months or whatever. So this is supposed to be releasing soon. I'm just gonna keep an eye on it. I haven't really seen any like new photos coming out just yet. So, and I think they were taking the time to adjust some of the faces. These are photos we've seen already. So if you're like judging it off of this, we've seen these photos already. These are not necessarily new. from what I've seen. However, there also is, let me see, does he have it on here? I think he does have it somewhere kind of in here, but from what I understand, there's a deluxe and just regular versions of these type of sets. Ones that the deluxe obviously comes with the dragons, and then I think the regulars are just the head sculpts and faces. So if that's something you're interested in, you know, keep an eye out. I'm not putting any pre-orders down just yet until for sure, you know that it's coming out. Because it's been a while that this thing has been floating around. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. Anyways, that is pretty much it in terms of all of the news for the last couple of days. Could be something popping up later today. Hopefully it'll be pretty subtle for now, because it is about to be November in a few weeks. Tamashii Nation's Tokyo is going to be gearing up. They already are teasing what they potentially may be having to reveal later. And we just had premium Bandai pre-orders, and we're going to have another drop of pre-order soon with Shfiguarts. So it's let's just chill. Okay, let's just chill. Anyways, yeah, that's pretty much it. I will catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one. Peace.